A major transformation was about to occur in her life in 2014. Even though she had just recently begun working, she found her job dull and unfulfilling. Because of this, she felt disoriented and lonely, and the people in her life were perplexed by her emotional instability. She had a long day at the office and was heading home one night. At least there was some solace in the stillness of the streets and the starry sky. Suddenly, though, a deafening din broke the silence. She spun around in shock to find a fast-moving car barreling towards her, so she braced herself for the crash that was sure to happen. That terrifying second, time stood still, and everything seemed to freeze. She was racked with agony as the force of the contact appeared to rip her body apart. She was thrown into the abyss as her surrounds vanished into darkness before her senses could register the trauma. After that, she wound up in a hospital where kind spirits cared for her. After a long period of medical treatment, she finally felt somewhat conscious again, but something otherworldly seemed to be pulling her mind away from her physical body. She watched as the medical staff worked downstairs, seemingly trying to bring her back to life. This disconnection from her physical identity was illogical. Her mind was sharply clear, revealing an in-depth understanding of the fundamental nature of life. A tranquil energy encircled her, transporting her to a limitless, endless universe. She felt a mysterious energy pulsating through her, a sensation that baffled and amazed her. Her physical body was still in danger, but her spirit had found an unmatched calm. A fresh outlook on life was bestowed upon her by this meeting. The speed with which her spirit rose was like that of a rocket. She was free to float among the sky, her physical form no longer limiting her. An enormous platform filled with an overpowering feeling of love and safety materialized before her eyes. Her perception became more acute, allowing her to pick up on the most minute details. Like a free spirit taking flight, she was able to roam freely through the boundless expanse of this area, which was a breathtakingly beautiful experience. Out of nowhere, a reassuring voice welcomed her. She felt a profound sense of calmness as it encircled her, the source of which eluded her. The sight of a luminous angel, cloaked in pristine white clothes and brandishing a shimmering golden sword, was arresting and heavenly. Her pain and nervousness faded away as the angel drew near, and she felt a comfort she had never felt before. The otherworldly figure introduced herself as her guardian angel and guided her through a portal into a vast room that looked like an outdoor theater. As it came to life, the screen showed scenes from her life, from happy times with loved ones to sad times with herself and her problems. They made her think about her previous deeds. Some made her happy, and some made her sad. Throughout this reflective voyage, the angel stayed at my side, silent but soothing. She was given the choice to go in a different direction when the viewing ended. She considered the incredible possibility of soaring into the air as she gazed upon her celestial guide's magnificent wings. She decided to listen to her guardian angel after taking a deep breath. They made it down a hallway and out onto a vast field. Behold, before her was a realm straight out of paradise, brimming with joy and calm. The lush grass, multicolored flowers, radiant starry sky, and comforting warmth of the sun were all part of this paradisal realm. The line between her and heaven seemed to dissolve into oblivion in this domain, where she found endless joy and calm. Love and everlasting hope surged over the vastness, engulfing her in a powerful and intense energy all at once. A profound sense of tranquility encircled her as a protective cocoon. Her attention was drawn to a figure shrouded in a snow-white robe and adorned with a radiant golden crown. From their eyes, which appeared to contain the entire world, emanated wisdom and limitless compassion. She knew this was God. The realization was indescribable. The holy form greeted her with a grin and extended a hand, engulfing her in an endless stream of love and forgiveness. "My child, I am privy to the trials and tribulations you've borne in this world," God said in a voice as soft as the air around you, whispering into the room. "The pain and suffering you've endured are things I've seen firsthand. Rest assured that I am here for you always, watching over you with unwavering love." She was moved by the holy presence and confided in God, exposing her existential struggles and the ways in which her work had felt meaningless. The meaning of her own existence was something she began to doubt. "My child, comprehend that every soul on earth carries immense significance," God responded after patiently listening. "Everyone is essential, yet they all do it in their own special way. The work of janitors and other seemingly insignificant workers is actually quite important. Their responsibilities extend far beyond just cleaning. They watch over public areas to make sure they stay clean, which protects everyone. The work that each of us does, no matter how mundane, is important and meaningful. Her outlook on life and work was drastically altered by this epiphany. Knowing that her work touched the lives of many others in a domino effect, God urged her to view her profession as a way to serve. A new perspective on life and work dawned on her at that same moment, and her spirit took flight with a renewed sense of purpose. God told her that she needed to come back and finish the mission she had started but had never finished. She was filled with inspiration and enthusiasm to accept her vocation rather than disheartened by her decision. She thanked God for showing her the significance of her life and the importance of her existence. Because she knew she had to go back to Earth and improve herself, she didn't beg to stay. She was led back to Earth by the angel who had been by her side, and the change happened so suddenly, as if via a rip in time itself, that it was like a blur. They returned to the hospital, where the heroic attempts to bring her back to life by the medical staff persisted. One of the nurses reported to the physician, "We've exhausted our efforts. The patient's heart has ceased its beating." As she stared at her lifeless body, anxious thoughts began to flood her mind. It felt as if her fate had been like a falling leaf, without any support or basis. The angel reached out and touched her heart as she watched her thoughts race. Soon enough, the monitor showed the reassuring rhythm of a heartbeat. With the angel's command, "Return to your corporeal form," her spirit reconnected with her terrestrial form. The world around her started to reappear as she reestablished contact with her terrestrial vessel. She was able to make out the noises of the doctors' and nurses' instruments as well as their voices. She blinked slowly, and the stark whiteness of the hospital room welcomed her. There was a tiny fog over her thoughts, and she could feel her muscles tensing up all over. Asking with genuine concern, "How are you feeling?" is what a doctor does. A scratchy throat prevented her from speaking, so she simply nodded. The physicians informed her that she had suffered a heart attack, but miraculously she was saved. Even though she was conscious, she felt weak and dizzy, so the doctors told her to remain in the hospital. She pondered the events that had transpired in solitude. While speaking with the doctor, she recounted her experience of seeing an angel. Despite his initial skepticism, the doctor listened attentively as she recounted her story. He disclosed that his patient's vital signs had deteriorated during surgery, but that he had felt a voice telling him to keep on for another 2 minutes. Although he believed her story, he classified the incident as a paranormal medical occurrence. She received wonderful treatment from the medical personnel and had visits from loved ones while she was in the hospital. The doctor gave her the all clear a few days later. Upon her return home, she was overwhelmed with thankfulness toward God, the doctor who persisted, and the angel who had brought her back to life. Life is full of mysteries that science has yet to unravel. She was inspired to pursue personal growth and transformation after this life-altering event, which made her more mindful of her physical and emotional health. She was certain that this event would give her meaning and insight for the rest of her life.